As we continue our journey through the Advent season and anticipate Christmas and the birth of Jesus, thank you for being on this journey with us. We are now reading John 10, 1 through 21. I'm Nathan Roberts. Jesus, the Good Shepherd. Very truly I tell you, anyone who does not enter the sheepfold by the gate, but climbs in by another way, is a thief and a bandit. The one who enters by the gate is the shepherd of the sheep. The gatekeeper opens the gate for him, and the sheep hears his voice. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. When he has brought out all of his own sheep, he goes ahead of them, and the sheep follow him because they know his voice. They will not follow a stranger, but they will run from him because they do not know the voice of strangers. Jesus used this figure of speech with them, but they did not understand what he was saying to them. So again Jesus said to them, "Very truly I tell you, I am the gate for the sheep. All who come before me are thieves and bandits, but the sheep did not listen to them. I am the gate. Whoever enters by me will be saved and will come in and go out and find pasture. The thief comes only to destroy and kill and steal. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. The hired hand, who is not the shepherd and does not own the sheep, sees the wolf coming and leaves the sheep and runs away. And the wolf snatches them and scatters them. The hired hand runs away because a hired hand does not care for the sheep. I am the good shepherd. I know my own, and my own know me. Just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father. And I lay down my life for the sheep. I have other sheep that do not belong to this fold. I must bring them also, and they will listen to my voice. So there will be one flock, one shepherd. For this reason the Father loves me, because I lay down my life in order to take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it up again. I have received this command from my Father." Again, the Jews were divided because of these words. Many of them were saying, "He has a demon and is out of his mind. Who listens to him?" "Why listen to him?" Others were saying, "These are not the words of one who has a demon. Can a demon open the eyes of the blind?" The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. As I read these words, I think a lot about the line, "They know me because they know my voice. The sheep follow him because they know his voice." Voices are really important. As we record this, many of you recognize my voice. You've known me. We've talked at church. We've shared coffee. We've served together. We've laughed together. There are other voices you know. The voice of your mother, the voice of your father, the voice of a best friend. Trusted voices. Voices that you turn to in difficult or complicated times to lead you to the right path. There are people that I trust when life gets complicated and confusing. There are people that God has put in my life that I often hear God speaking through. People who have wisdom to cut through all the complexity. People who have insights into the difficult things in life. Sometimes it's people who have a deep understanding of car repair or home repair, and when I'm feeling totally overwhelmed and out of my depth, can steer me in the right direction. Sometimes it's people who have a deep understanding of physical health. The voice of my doctor, the voice of my therapist? Who are your trusted voices? Who are the voices that God has put in your life? That when you feel like a sheep and your life feels like it's surrounded by wolves, the wolves of anxiety, the wolves of financial stress, the wolves of sickness, the wolves of tragedy, who is that voice that guides you back in to the pasture, that keeps you from running, that keeps you from giving up when life gets hard? There are also voices that live in our heads. I know I often talk to myself. Now, don't get concerned. I think I do it in the way that everyone does. And I have encouraging voices, the voices of the Spirit, the voices that are kind and encouraging and hopeful, optimistic, the spark of divinity that reminds me that I can get through this, that I have what I need, that with a little time, patience, hope, and optimism, hard work and perseverance, this too will pass. This can be overcome. But there are other voices, anxious voices, depressed voices, sad voices, even mean voices. Sometimes I'll say things to myself that I would never say to someone else. Things that are so mean and hurtful. These are the voices of the wolves that live inside of our head. And in times where we get lost in these negative voices, it's easy to try to escape. One of the ways I try to escape is by looking at my phone. I would say this is one of the worst ways to escape from these voices, because I find that my social media often reflects how I'm feeling and even makes it worse. There was a study done recently where computer algorithms on our social media, when people were reading their phones or looking at videos, the computer started to notice their emotions. They started to notice if people were resonating with sad videos or angry videos, sad songs or happy songs. And if the person started to really enjoy or watch or get captivated by sad, depressing, angry things, the computer didn't say, "Wow, I think you're feeling upset. Maybe we should talk about that. Maybe we should change your energy." Instead, the computer kept feeding more and more sad and depressing and angry videos. It gave you more of the emotion you were already feeling. The algorithm on Facebook and TikTok fed into where you were already at. This too can be a voice of one of the wolves. We have to remember that there are a lot of voices out there. And in times where we're feeling sad or scared or alone, it's easy to turn to unhelpful voices. But this Christmas season, during Advent, I ask you to turn to those voices that are trusted, those voices that steer you back to the divine, holy voices, that still small voice inside you that says you are loved, you are enough, you are a holy, beloved child of God, and that you are needed in your community, in your family, that you are enough, and that you are a joy